I'm going to talk a little bit about something more advanced, perhaps not advanced, but more complex, although I love what Button is doing. Today I'm going to talk to you about magic of data and data-driven marketing. My name is Rami, and I'm the CEO and founder of Beemray. But before going there, let me tell you something about my background. When I started off my career, I was a musician, and then I got promoted by audience to be a pop star back in Scandinavia. It was good, and I had some certain benefits, as you can imagine. Although I felt like I was blind all the time. When I was writing my songs and producing albums, I didn't really know what the fans wanted. The only thing I knew was that they loved my hair. I'm the blonde guy there. But that's about it. And then later on, when I established some companies, especially my online video platform, where we were working with a number of big clients, such as Disney or Fox or HBO, etc., I still felt that we were a bit in the dark, really. And this is because today we live in a world with too much information. During my very short speech today, there will be some 500 hours of new YouTube content, maybe 10 million Facebook posts, 3 billion emails, etc. 10 years ago, we didn't have Twitter. Now we tweet maybe 1 billion times a day. And on top of that, you get all your data from your own media channels, your own websites, your own mobile, your cash registers, etc., etc. And then there are a lot of vendors like ourselves who come and knock on your doors every day and give you new business ideas, new business models, and you need to sort of balance in between whether this is something I want to go forward or should I stick to my old core business whatsoever. So it's very, very difficult to keep focus what's really going out there, and how do you grow your business without getting distracted. What I learned in my days of being a musician and later on is that we always should start from the customer. How do I make her feel valued or heard? How do I really start the conversation? How do I start the relationship? And I think we have only one answer there today, which is that we have the data. The magic in the relationship is in the data. But the trouble is that today the data is in silos. We have our mobile data, we have our web data, etc., etc. And even still, it is mostly noise. And like we talk to many CMOs, etc., and they say that they can't really see the wood, they can't see the forest anymore. They're getting very, very confused. So why don't we then look at a typical day and try to find out what is really the valuable data in order to start off the conversations with our customers. So let's say in the morning when the guy wakes up, we know exactly what websites he's visiting. When he drives to his office, we know which streets he takes, whether there's traffic or how was the weather. When he entered the office, we know which websites, which tools he is using at the office. We know when he goes to have lunch, what is it that he bought, what he ate, how much money he spent, where did he go in the first place. And later on, perhaps he goes shopping. We again know what he bought. We know everything about his transactions within the stores or shopping mall. And then later on, we still keep continuing. We know which TV shows he's been watching, etc., etc. So we follow the customer throughout his journey. And how do we know this all? Well, of course, because in our case, we have the SDK in the browsers and the application so that we collect all the possible data, what the user is doing with the website or the application, or where the application is moving in terms of location, outdoor or indoor. And then we combine external data sources, typically like CRM data, like transactional loyalty kind of data, but also weather, traffic, sports results, you just name it. Then all the data goes into our servers, we crunch them, we filter them, and we segment the customers, and finally we are able to talk to the customers at the right context. So why do we then do this all? Because simply because the data, what we are collecting, the understanding what we are collecting, helps us to build the customer relationship. We know better the trends, the opportunities, the business opportunities out there, and we build up loyalty, engagement. And on the other hand, if we don't do it, we end up spraying and praying and spending a lot of money into customer marketing and not getting the results what we want. So right now I would like to welcome you all into the era of narratives. This is because the days of thinking that data is the end game is really over now. We are entering the era of narratives, kind of narratives that are generated by systems that understand data, narratives that help us make decisions about tomorrow. Data is, of course, always very important. It is a platform. But the story of the data is really the last mile. And now that we are conveniently here in PureMobile, it's good to sort of notice that mobile is indeed the device that covers the last mile. Like we have heard today, seen many good statistics and information about this. Search, if we look at search indexes, we can notify that mobile has already surpassed desktops in terms of searches. And then if we look at the time, how much time we've spent on mobile compared to desktop, already 2 years ago we spent more time on mobile than on desktop. So from a retailer point of view, the only moment when we should be talking to the customer, the potential customer, is actually on mobile, whether he's at home or office or somewhere in between. At the cash register, it's usually very much too late. And finally, I think that the mobile really brings us conversion. If we look at the retailer numbers, the thing is that everybody's saying that e-commerce is coming, nobody's buying anything from the retail anymore, the brick and mortar stores, but that's not quite true, is it? Over 93% of people are still buying from there. The fact, of course, being at the same time that we have less and less people in the shopping malls, in the stores, but at the same time, the actual conversion rate is doubled. So we could say that mobile is really the link. It enables us to target the customers and then drive the traffic to the stores or wherever we want to, and then we can, of course, measure and optimize again and start the loop again. So, So what is the content that we then want to provide to the customers? Now that we have all the data, we know the understanding, we have the customer behavior, so we need to be able to talk to the customers. So based on our experience, you should walk away from discounts or too frequent marketing messages and only think about valuable content. I have some solutions here that you might find interesting in terms of cases, our cases. Like here, a very, very basic thing, proximity marketing. Let's say you are in London city centre. We know that you like French food. We know it's lunchtime. We know that you're close to your favorite restaurant or our promoted restaurant, and we send you push notifications and then finally something like that over there. Or let's say you are buying a very expensive piece of hardware like TV. And you go to one of these stores, maybe MediaMarkt, and not always the salespersons are clever enough to answer your questions, complex questions. At least in my case, I'm too picky in terms of technology, and I don't get the right answers, or correct answers at least. So wouldn't it be nice if when I'm standing in front of the TV, I get a message to my phone saying that, do you want to chat with a Samsung expert, because you seem to be interested in the TV. So yeah, why not? Not always about marketing, indeed. Sometimes, let's say you are in Sevilla and you want to go to Madrid, you jump onto the train, we instantly recognize that you are now on train, we give you the cafeteria menu. When the train is approaching Madrid, we tell you that it's going to rain out there, so be prepared. And when the train arrives at Atocha, we show you something nice like a metro map or taxi voucher codes or whatever that is valuable to you at this stage. Or let's say you are a customer of this restaurant chain. We know a lot about you. We know about your family. We know what kind of food you like. We know where you live. Many, many things. And then we also know that our sponsor, our partner, is going to have a new episode tonight. So we let you know that it's about time to have a nice family evening, dinner. Why don't you order some food from the, let's say, in this case, from Eat, while you're watching House of Cards. Quite convenient. Or another very important thing, you need to be able to build up the customer case, the sort of understanding the profile, customer profile. And sometimes a good vehicle to do that is to launch surveys, but not just any surveys, but surveys that are very contextual, right at the right time, at the right place, let's say within the store, or maybe when you just left the store. Another nice example about enhanced context. So let's say you are interested in movies, you are close by the movie theater, and we show you something like this. Now that it is cold and we know what's going on there in the movie theater, we give you the trailer and we sort of invite you to watch it. Or something what we are releasing just very shortly with our partner is to interact with the digital out-of-home media, so to speak, the screens that you see on the streets. So let's say in this example, you're a customer of Priority Moments, you are waiting for the bus, and we recognize you are there, and then we sort of not talk to you directly in the phone, but we instead on the screen itself. Of course, to some this is a bit scary. You know, we know every single meter where you are, every single second of the day, and it concerns privacy, of course. I think we need to be very discreet here, very open about it, very transparent what we do with the data, because it's always also a trade-off. Now, the more data you give about yourself, the better I can talk to you, the better promotions, the better relationship we can have. So let's see where this goes forward. I think we have a good discussion ongoing right now, and after certain regulations, I'm sure we are entering to the right place. So finally, if you are able to do all this, collect the data, segment it, and start understanding the customer behavior, and then communicate, engage them at the right place, at the right time, in the correct context, I guarantee you pure magic in terms of conversion rates, retention rates, business opportunities, and growth. I think this was it. Thank you very much. Any questions?